Welcome, future coders and mathematicians. My name is Pete Drinan, and in today's lesson, you're going to learn how to build your very own equation-solving video game using Scratch. You'll learn how to use a few programming tricks to create a character and teach him how to solve a math problem. This project will help you master algebraic concepts and hopefully become a coding pro. So why are we doing this? Well, you ever wonder how your phone or your computer can solve problems so fast? They're using computational thinking. It's a fancy way to say they break down big problems into small logical steps. In this lesson, we're going to do the same thing, but with algebra and coding. You'll teach your characters how to solve an equation by applying transformations, like adding and subtracting from both sides of an equation, and using order of operations in reverse. It's kind of like being a detective. All right, so let's jump into it. You'll notice here I've got our Scratch program open. I've already loaded in two characters for you. You've got Devin and our robot, and we also have our background of a classroom. So I uploaded that. So I'm going to walk you through kind of the coding process and how I want you to start and set up your code. And then your job is to recreate a project of similar. You can pick your own background, you can pick your own characters, and you got to pick a different equation. All right, so we're going to start by starting our program off. We use this block when green flag is clicked. That's how our program knows to start. And we're going to have our character Devin. You'll notice that I'm in Devin's coding panel. So I'm going to have Devin say something for 2 seconds. So I will have Devin say something like, "Hi, I am here to help you solve a one variable equation." Okay. And then he's going to say, so I'll drag another say block. He's going to say, let's start with a simple one. And we will give the equation. The simple one will be 5x plus 10 is equal to 35. So that's what Devin's going to ask us. Now, the robot is actually going to be the one that's going to tell us or give us the equation. So I want to signal to the robot that he needs to start. So I am going to broadcast a message, and the message I'm going to broadcast is start. So the robot knows that he needs to start broadcasting the message. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to my robot, and I need to say, okay, when does the robot start to talk? So the robot is going to start to talk when he receives start. And I am going to have the robot repeat a loop. So I need to take a repeat until block, and I'm going to put this in here, repeat, and he's going to ask a question. So I am going to have him ask a question. So I am going to go to ask. I'm going to go into sensing where it says ask, and I want him to ask, not what's your name, what is the first step to get x by itself, question mark. What should we do to both sides? Do to both sides. So we're looking for the robot to ask us that question. All right, so now the robot will ask that, but we need to tell the robot what the answer is and when we need to, like, how to give us a box for an answer. So I'm going to go back into my events and or control, and I'm going to get another if-then loop. And I'm actually going to do an if-then-else. So I will take if-then-else. And I want to say, okay, I need an answer. So that answer needs to equal. So I will come down to here to my answer, and I will answer equals. And if I go to my sensing, I can actually get my answer block. So I'm going to put in answer. And that answer is, well, we would subtract 10 from both sides. Okay. And I'm actually going to duplicate this code and put it into my repeating block. So now that you can see that it's popping up and asking that question. And if they give the correct answer, I want my robot to say correct, right? We want him to tell us that it is correct. Now we have 5x equals 25. So it gave us the next step. And because that's our next step, we want to broadcast another new message. So we might broadcast and we'll call this message step 2, because what is going to be our second step? So there's step 2. Now, what if they answer it wrong? That's why we use the if then else loop, because, well, what is he going to do if we get the wrong answer? Well, else he will say something else. So we will go to say, and we're going to pick say for 2 seconds. And if we inputted the wrong answer, we probably want to give them a little hint, right? We want to say, hey, that's not quite. So we're going to say not quite. Try thinking about the order of operations in reverse, period. How do we get rid of the constant? So we're going to give people a hint in case we didn't get that correct. And we're going to do that for 2 seconds. All right, so now we've got, so if we just, let's hit the red stop sign and we'll show you, there it is, Devin saying, hi, I'm here. Let's start with a simple one. And then our robot's going to say, okay, what do we think the first step is? And if we type in subtract 10, boom, correct. And now we have this. So now, because we have the right step, we've got to start our step 2. Remember, we broadcast step 2 here. All right, so now we want our robot to, when he receives our second message, so we're going to put another when I receive, and we will click step 2. We want to kind of repeat the same process that we did up above. So we are going to go to our control. We are going to pick a repeat loop. Here's our repeat loop. And I am actually going to duplicate this to make life a little bit easier. Oop. That's not what I wanted. I actually want to duplicate my answer block so I can take that. And this time I want my answer to be 5. And we want to ask a question again. So we're going to go to sensing, and we want him to ask, since it's our second step, great. Now, what is the value of x? Because we want to know what that x is equal to, and we will wait. So then we need another if then else loop. So we'll put another loop in, and we'll scroll down a little bit here. And I'm going to duplicate this block again so that it's in there. And now we're going to have him say something. So we want him to say, if we get the correct answer, we will say something like, fantastic! Exclamation point. You solved it. X equals 5. Okay, and again, what if he doesn't get it right? What if we get it wrong? So else, we will say, that's not it. Remember what operation we need to do to both sides to isolate x. So we'll give a little hint, okay? And then we should be good. Okay, so you are going to create something very, very similar. Your goal is to create a game just like this, where you are going to create your own equation. I have a rubric here on how you will be graded. You'll be 15 points. You're graded on 3 different criteria: skill, rationale, creativity. So if your code is correct and shown correct with the loops and our branching, our if then, you'll get a full 5. If it's mostly right, you'll get 3. If it's not functioning, you'll get 1. And then your rationale, if you explain why learning code is important, and you'll get 5, and then 3, and then 1. And then creativity, like how unique are your characters? Did you just copy mine? Did you use your own characters? That sort of thing. But hopefully you have fun with it. You take your time. If you have questions, let me know. But I can't wait to see some of your projects.